This is the deal, and it's not a good one. So these people who hold themselves out to be patriots are not. They're nothing more than domestic terrorists.
I would have actually liked to have seen this go further, but this is very important that we bring this forward.
And I would add that Senator Lieberman would have gone further than you, and nobody I respect more than Senator Lieberman, but trying to find a balanced way. So in summary here, 1032, the military custody provision, which has waivers and a lot of flexibility, doesn't apply to American citizens. 1031, the statement of authority to detain, does apply to American citizens, and it designates the world as the battlefield, including the homeland. Are you familiar with the Padilla case? That is a federal court case involving an American citizen captured in the United States that was held for several years as an enemy combatant. His case went to the Fourth Circuit. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals said an American citizen can be held by our military as an enemy combatant, even if they're caught here in the United States, because once you join the enemy forces, then you present a military threat, and your citizenship is not a sort of a get-out-of-jail-free card.
General Dempsey, you in one of your criteria for determining what we might do militarily, you say you have to ask the question of whether the action is worth the cost and is consistent with law. What law does the United States military look to?
With some kind of international legal basis, an UNSCR.
Wait a minute. Let's talk about an international legal basis. You answer under the Constitution to the United States government, do you not?
When it comes to the kind of military action where we want to build a coalition and work with our international partners, then obviously we would like to have some kind of legal basis on which to do it.
We worried about international legal basis, but nobody worried about the fundamental constitutional legal basis that this Congress has over war.
Our goal would be to seek international permission, and we would come to the Congress and inform you and determine how best to approach this, whether or not we would want to get permission from the Congress. I think those are issues we would have to discuss as we decide what to do here.
Well, I'm almost breathless about that, because what I heard you say is we're going to seek international approval, and they will come and tell the Congress what we might do, and we might seek congressional approval.
No, well,
I want to just say to you, that's a big dish. Wouldn't you agree? You've served in the Congress.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree that that's would be pretty breathtaking to the average American?
The biggest problems that we're facing right now have to do with George Bush trying to bring more and more power into the executive branch and not go through Congress at all. And that's what I intend to reverse when I'm President of the United States of America. I can't wait for Congress to do its job. So where they won't act, I will. And I've told my administration, we're going to look every single day to figure out what we can do without Congress. What can we do without?
On behalf of the General Assembly, I have the honor to welcome to the United Nations His Excellency Barack Obama, President of the United States of America, and invite him to address the Assembly. Mr. President.
Mr. President, Mr. Secretary General, fellow delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Each year, we come together to reaffirm the founding vision of this institution.
Number one, these groups, the militia groups that have spread up under the Patriot banner, if you will. Correct me if I'm mischaracterizing it. And then the lone wolves, people who have radicalized themselves, and perhaps they share information on the internet, or perhaps they get information from the same sites. And one of them is.
New report says extreme anti-government militia movements are cropping up all over the country.
But the report also lists groups that many consider mainstream. Some people who attended the Tea Party tax protest, the National Rifle Association. It also mentions Texas Governor Rick Perry raising the prospect of secession.
We've all seen images like these, terrorist training in distant lands. This kind of thing, though, is also going on right here at home. They're not branches of al-Qaeda. They're right-wing extremists with lots of guns and an axe to grind against the U.S. government. We have an in-depth report right now on the growing threat from these militias.
Spotlighted a right-wing group called the Oath Keepers that may become dangerous.
With militias from across the country coming to their aid and waging battles with them against the U.S. government.
But the reality about the group is that what it's really about is the fear that martial law is about to be imposed, that Americans are about to be herded into concentration camps, that foreign troops are going to be put down on American soil.
Well, I think as we advance our bilateral relationships with China and their Navy, we're rising to the occasion.
Bold Alligator is a large-scale, live East Coast exercise with multinational partners to show the distributed operations, contingency operations that will guide our future operating force.
We're more than ready. We've been shooting a lot. We're just excited and thrilled to just get it over with and finish the mission. It is possible, and that we can come together and work as one.
Kill, 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 kill.